All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So we are basically going to do an EV sector review here. So we will start with MULN. I am really curious at NIO. You know, I actually think I saw NIO mentioned a couple times in the comment and I just never looked at it. But I think that one actually might be the more interesting one of the group. I want to look at RIVN, NKLA, and TSLA as well. I don't know if 5 stocks is a little too aggressive, but yeah, if I can cover most of these in one go, I would love to do that. So look, MULN, man, I've been saying this for a minute now. It is all about the 20 moving average. All right, I've been saying it since this day, since the early July pop. I really hope you've learned from this moment. If you haven't, or if anything, it's really reinforced what you've gained from my videos. You know what I mean? But yeah, we'll be talking about the 20, but in a lot of ways, it's the same thing we've been discussing for all my MULN videos, right? From there, like I said, NIO is one I am actually very interested in doing. RIVN still holding. I think NKLA had a little bit of an ugly day, kind of surprised me. And then I don't know what TSLA looked like. I'm not going to lie to you. So we'll do that one fresh together. But yeah, before we go any further, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video on the internet, comment good or bad. Look, I swear, if you disagree with what I got to say, I'm not here to hate on you. You know, when educated people share thoughts and opinions, really good things happen, all right? So with that said, let's get into my thoughts. And again, my thoughts are nothing more than don't underestimate these 5 moving averages. You know what I mean? Just zooming out, all right? History. When doing technical analysis, it's not like playing roulette. Okay, what does that mean? Every roulette table will show you the past winners. And that's actually a fool's thing to look at. The ball has no memory. If the ball lands on 6 reds in a row, if this red, look, that ball don't remember where it landed. And it might land on a black one, it might land on a red one. It is complete chance. For me, I genuinely believe history repeats itself until the stock says, hey, we're not that thing anymore, all right? And this is pre-split issues, right? Like the split happens on this day. Zoom out and you can see we have been well under the 20 moving average for a pretty long time, all right? We get to it and fail. We get to it, open above it, but fail, right? We get to it, but fail. Get to it, but fail. Just nothing but. And again, we get really tight because the way that the parabolic game works is, you know, you go down, you go horizontal, and hopefully that's where you go up, or unfortunately you keep going down. And MULN's done it. MULN goes down a lot, gets really tight, goes down a lot, gets really tight. And again, I'm here believing this is going to happen again until the stock gives me another reason to believe otherwise, right? Like, I'm telling you, I have made really good money on MULN back in the day. I made some decent money on this single day. I did it all in my sleep too, you know, like MULN, when MULN's ready, when MULN can hit the billions in volume, when MULN can hit the 500 millions in volume and like crush it, MULN can do some silly things. However, when MULN is under the 8 and the 20, bad things happen. I see that for every single stock, you know that, but unfortunately, it does a lot worse for MULN, all right? And as much as people like to blame the short manipulation, the this and that, look, end of the day, this orange line is the wall. All right, there is nothing happening over this line until that big green candle comes and says we're done. Okay, maybe it's here. Okay, I think we're now starting to move away from it, that like this is at least worth drawing now. okay? I think 17 cents is arguably an entry point because red, 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 maybe an easy green, 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 you know? And again, one of the things that I've said was the sad thing about this 26 line is I was hoping to go to 75 at one point. I was hoping to 3x. I was then hoping to go like 50, right, and 2x. We're now going below 2x, and that's kind of disappointing, right? So maybe that's kind of leaning me towards like let's get a little, you know, let's see what this 15 cent can do. Obviously, that gets us over the 2 moving averages, gets us over this one big candle. How close is that 17 to 18? Oh, it's right there. I'm going to set an alert at 18. I don't want it at 17. I think that might be a little bit of a fake out, but yeah, I think, and you know what? I think I'm going to delete this line. I do. I am. And you know, I've been talking about that 26 cent line for a bit, but we now, I think, have enough of a horizontal at the top of this guy. I think 17 is the line. We'll talk about this little candle. There was nothing on the weekly, right? Yeah, no, we're good. Yeah, I'm okay deleting that line, actually. So let's see if 17 to 50 can hit, all right? Do not have $50 dreams, especially while we're under this, right? Like, please, please, please do not think we're running up here, especially when we've been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, 9 days under the 8 and the 20. Again, this day opens up here, but it closes down here. This one opens up here, but closes down. None of them. This was the last day we were over the 8 at least. When was the last time we were over the 8 and the 20? Oh, geez, I have to go all the way back to here. This was the last day. February 14th, okay? Don't underestimate these lines. 17 cents, 18 cents is my alert, right? Like I even need to be above this, which already you can see is actually a little bit higher than this day itself, right? So that's how little I trust MULN. I don't want a fake alert, all right? You know what I mean? So trade safely with this one. Honestly, we're under this 14. I can't believe I haven't mentioned this yet, right? Like you saw how many days under the 8 and the 20. We're now under this 14 cent line. Like we might be falling. 14 is not quite 50% candle. Like it is 13. That's kind of what we wick. But honestly, red, 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 green, 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 green might be a hard red, 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 red right here to 10. And then after 10 is obviously all-time lows. And after 10, we unfortunately have that little monkey on our shoulder that's now saying, dude, this is where we were when they reverse split on us last time. Why wouldn't they do it again, right? So just be real careful, all right? I can't say anything more, all right? NIO, on the other hand, look at this chart. I am wildly upset I missed this, but in a lot of ways, today is arguably maybe the first day that's actually worth going in on it, okay? Yes, it did some things here, and you could have ridden the 8 and the 20 and all that sort of stuff. There was decent gaps actually between the moving averages, but today broke the moving averages and confirmed. We golden cross. We're still going up. Like there is reason to believe we're coming to this 13 because especially look, MACD looks good, RSI looks good, volume looks good. Break 13. And then you're starting to talk about green, 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 red, 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 all the way to basically 20, you know? So I think NIO very much should be on your watch list tomorrow. If you're not in, 1206. What was your high? Oops, I just moved over. 1206. Set an alert for 1206, 1207. I'm not going to lie. That might even be a good average up spot. 1206. Let me give me a penny higher. I'll take 1207. Yeah, I'm not drawing a new line, believe me when I say that, but one more time, when you're over all 5, you fly. Like MULN, when you're under all 5, you die, right? So this is beautiful. Where are we on the weekly? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, it's been a struggle with the 50. So far, so good. Again, that looks nice. Not super, super high. And look at this thing. The weekly RSI has lived up here. One more time, look at the RSI box over there. 93, 93, 91, 91. Oh my God, this is weeks on weeks on weeks, people. NIO, must watch. All right, I really do like this actually. NIO is looking really, really hot. I'm not sure if there was actually any news. This is a pretty hard pop, and hey, it might have been nothing more than a technical analysis thing, right? Like, but because again, I'm seeing red, 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 a whole mess of nothing, green, green, green. Like, makes sense to me, right? But let me know if there was actually any news. I didn't look at any headlines here, but yeah, I don't need to beat this drum a lot. You know what I mean? NIO looks fantastic. And again, there, look, it's early in the week, right? So first off, the candle needs to finish. From there, yeah, the candle also needs to confirm. But again, just so much red, 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 green, green, green. Like this could move right here actually. So NIO, well worth your attention. How are we doing on time? I think we're okay on time. Let's talk about RIVN here. All right. So there's some interesting things that I'm seeing here. All right. I normally start up here, but I got to talk a little bit down here. RSI is starting to slip a little bit, and actually so is MACD. All right. That said, today, and you can't really see it. Yeah, it's barely right there, right? Because it's kind of hidden. But I'm a little surprised we held the 8 moving average today. I really, you know what I mean? Like, I thought we were maybe gonna come down to let's say to here, maybe to here, right? Like I was expecting things to cool off. I'm surprised to see us cooling off and stay here, all right? And because of that, I think it's really showing the strength of RIVN. This right here was no joke. This right here was good news, good numbers, good actual numbers too. You know what I mean? Like this green, 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 in a lot of ways could have been a bad red, 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 red if it was fake, for lack of words. And I think this horizontal hold is really saying it's not fake. And again, just zooming out, we've been here before. You know what I mean? Like this is a horizontal place that we've held for months, for basically May to July, right? So hey, maybe we actually just kind of stay horizontal while we reset the RSI and then keep going to that next tranche, which basically is up here, right? So yeah, and again, I do say this often. I live in LA. I see a lot of RIVNs actually. The pickup truck looks cool. You know, I don't actually have any friends that have it, so I can't ask anyone what it drives like and stuff like that. But I see a decent amount to almost a lot of RIVNs actually. So I would even say I see more RIVNs than Polestar cars, but I even do see a decent amount of Polestar cars. I know Lucid was requested. I didn't throw it in. If there's time, maybe I will at the end. But yeah, RIVN. I think going parallel isn't a bad thing because it actually gives your 20 moving average, like this 20 is still going up, and it's actually still going up at a really good slope, right? So if tomorrow maybe gets to like here, and then, you know, by Wednesday, Thursday, it's close enough to the 8, the fall from the 8 to the 20 won't be that bad. And hey, maybe we never even do it. We just stay horizontal enough while it comes down, and then it re-goes, right? But RIVN still looking good. RIVN still doesn't have a 100 moving average actually. Wow. Again, one of the things I talked about on RIVN. So look, this right here is the 20th week. All right. This right here was week 19 and there was no average 20, right? Boom. We now get it. After so many more weeks, this becomes the 50th. Okay. This 50 line is looking long enough to where I actually was curious if maybe the 100 moving average was going to come soon. Again, I'm not going to count all these, but 50 candles after this one will be the 100th weekly, and we will now be able to calculate a 100 moving average weekly, right? So as it sits right now, we're still over all the moving averages. As it sits right now, we're basically just sitting right at the bottom of this. This is where we might go a little horizontal, and then, yeah, it's going to want to come here if it breaks it, you know? So RIVN, I think the best, normally I'm not a fan of horizontal, right? I kind of joke, put your money in the bank if you're going to keep something horizontal, right? But I actually think this horizontal is showing strength because, again, green, 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 green should turn into red, 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 especially like right here. Like that would have been a hard fall on most other stocks in my genuine opinion. Instead, nah, we're going to hold this. So RIVN, I'm liking what I'm seeing, even though I'm sure a lot of you are kind of like, come on, baby, do a little more. You know what I mean? NKLA, let's take a look at NKLA. Yeah, look at this thing, right? So NKLA is now under the 8. I think NKLA is kind of doing the opposite of what RIVN's doing, right? Now, this to me was nothing more than a technical pop, all right? I very much remember talking about it because it was just nothing more than a red, red, red. And this 144 line, you can see it is very insignificant, right? So I think this is an unworthy pop. I think this was an unworthy pop. Both of them, when I say unworthy, baby, I hope you banked, right? Like it was real money that the bank will accept and you can buy some sushi or steak, right? But yeah, I don't think that this had any sustainable news, and I think that's why it kind of seems like we might be going down really quickly. Same RSI drop, but not the same horizontal, right? I think coming down to 195, the 200 moving average in the box over there, makes a lot of sense. All right. Hopefully we don't lose that. I for sure don't think we're going any lower than the 20 moving average, but legit, the goal would be hit the 20, stay on the 20, then kind of maybe go pop back. Because again, what did I just say on RIVN? I think RIVN's going to keep going. And if RIVN keeps going, maybe NKLA can keep going, especially if all that happens around this 196, right? So yeah, I think it's really funny to actually see almost the exact same RSI and MACDs, but very different trajectories. Honestly, just showing the strength of the movement of both. You know what I mean? So yeah, overall, am I scared? Look, I'm not. We're still holding the 8 and the 20 like a beast, right? So yeah, I am saying the words. I do think it's going to come down. I am actually saying I think it's going to come down more than 10%, right? But overall, am I still bullish? Yeah. Yeah, I am, especially again, because I think I still believe in RIVN. And, you know, NIO is looking good. I think as the EV sector looks good, that helps NKLA, right? So did I look at the weekly here? I didn't. Interesting weekly, right? This 50 moving average is obviously no joke, and we can see it. I remember talking about this too. Attempt number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. We're at number 6. Genuinely speaking, I kind of assumed the 5th one's going to crack it. So in a lot of ways, I'm surprised this one didn't do it, especially how close they were to each other, right? It's kind of like that OG game, don't break the ice. Like, you can only hit the ice so many times before it breaks, right? So, yeah, I am overall still liking things. That's where MACD wants to get into the positive. Yeah, again, I think just be a little patient. Watch RIVN. Even if you have zero money in RIVN and all in NKLA, I think you need to know what that one's going to do before, you know, you can expect things to happen here. Let's look at Tesla. Man, look at this thing, right? So we actually have 2 days under the 20 moving average. That's scary, especially given how far down this 50 is, right? As you lose both, the next place you're going to come is down here. Today was a really important candle. It at least regained all of Friday's loss, and roughly speaking, now it's a little bit lower than 50% candle, but yeah, we're still under the 8 and the 20. It's now been 3 days, right? So I need a little bit more. I'll be honest with you. I actually wouldn't be surprised if this thing drops to 262 tomorrow, because man, it might not. What does the NASDAQ look like? Comp Q. Following NASDAQ. Hopefully that's a place where we can recurve. Interesting. Man, I'm not here screaming we're coming down to the 50 moving average. I think that would be really, really dumb of me, actually. I do think this is a very realistic spot, especially if tomorrow closes at the 262 that I think. All right, so watch for 262. That would very much make me believe in 250. Okay. Watch the NASDAQ as well. Again, you saw it. It's kind of moving in unison, to say the least. And NASDAQ had a little bit more of a doji, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so 3 days under the 8 right now. This thing might come down to here. As this one comes down to here, I can see Tesla moving down a bit as well, right? So, again, I'm not here screaming, you know, scary things, right? I'm not even here saying green, 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 red, 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 red. Like, I don't think we're going to lose the 50 moving average if you really want to know the truth, all right? Oh, interesting to see. That kind of makes sense why we had the pop today as well. The 100 moving average on the weekly saved us, actually. I will be really curious to see if that holds. And actually, maybe if it does hold, that takes away from my like 250 thoughts, actually. So interesting weekly. Interesting weekly. 100 moving averages, it's been a spot so far. Interesting. That's not bad either on the RSI. Obviously a little bit high, but interesting. Okay. Yeah, watch the NASDAQ here for sure. But yeah, this was a good review. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, as you know it, thank you.